Hey everybody, it's X, and welcome back to some more Magic Arena, and today we're going to be playing another Premier Draft of Triple Rivals of Ixalan. Without further ado, let's get into the Pack 1 Pick 1. We've got a lot of great options here. Archer Varazka is going to, not ruin, it's going to muddy up your mana base a little bit, make it worse than most games, but if you get into a board stall, it's a great card draw engine. When you're just in a top deck war, it'll win basically any of those games, but there is a cost to running it for sure. There's some great mono card removal like Moment of Craving and Impale here, if we want to just stay wide open. There's also some great cheap evasive threats like Kitesail, Corsair, and Guiltgrove Stalker that are pretty high picks, and one pretty good uncommon with Deadeye Brawler. If you can ascend, then this can be a good card draw engine. I think I'm going to start pretty open here, take the Moment of Craving. It's easier to cast than Impale, being half as much mana and only a single black source, so it's also a little more splashable, and it plays really well in aggressive matchups, where your opponent's trying to jam in for a ton of damage early, because you get that life gain pocket as well. So I like Moment of Craving quite a bit. We'll start off with that here. For pick 2, there's a Sea Red, which is pretty gross when you're on the aggressive, but that's the only thing it can do. When it's not on the, or when you're not on the aggressive, it doesn't do anything. You have to sack it. There's Captain's Hook, which can be good. It's pretty slow. It's a lot of mana, but you do turn anything you want into a menacing threat with 2 extra power, which is a lot of damage. There's a Deadeye Righoller, which is a great bounce spell, and Blue-Black Pirates could be a good spot to be after a pick 1 Moment of Craving. There's Waterknot for more mono card removal. There's Jungleborn Pioneer towards a Merfolk deck in like blue-green or something. I think I'll roll with the Deadeye Righoller here. It's another nice open pick. It's a mono-colored spell. It's easy to cast, just a single mana of its color, and it is always good in the blue decks. For pick 3, there's a Squire's Devotion, an excellent white aura, and an Impale for a solid black removal spell. It's Waterknot, but I'd rather just have Impale at that point. I think those are the 3 playable cards. It's really just Squire's Devotion or Impale. Speculate on another color, don't lock us into anything yet, or just get locked in on black and go from there. Let's lock in on black here. If I were just trying to win, I would probably take Squire's Devotion again and think about heading into blue-white, because it's my favorite archetype, but I want to keep things a little bit interesting and not draft blue-white in every single draft, so I'm going to lean towards Impale here. And I think it's very much dependent on the drafter. There's certainly drafters that would lean heavier on the removal than the excellent aura, so I don't think it's a wrong pick or anything. It's just not the one that comes instinctually to me. It is the one that's going to work out for now, because now we get a Forerunner of the Coalition towards Blue-Black Pirates. 3 mana 2/2, but it puts whatever pirate we want on top of our deck when we cast it, and every time we play a pirate, our opponent loses a life. So if we get any really good pirate rares or anything, this is a great way to tutor it up and know that we're going to cast it next turn. So solid start to Blue-Black Pirates. 2 efficient removal spells, a great bounce pirate, and now the pirate tutor. Pack 1, pick 5, there is another pirate here, a Pitiless Plunderer. Not a big fan of this one, though. It's great in Commander and in, like, combo-oriented Brawl decks, but it's not good in just 1v1 draft. This is a late Squire's Devotion, pick 5 Squire's Devotion. Could also take one of these red pirates towards red-black pirates, and the Brazen Freebooter helps us splash in a little bit of blue if we want to go black-red splash blue. I'm pretty happy with our piratey position here towards taking a piratey card over a Squire's Devotion, or just a Dusk Charger because it's massive. It's a 4 mana 5/5 a good amount of the time. Yeah, I'm just going to stick really heavy to black here. Let's take a Dusk Charger. Pack 1, pick 6. No pirates, but solid blue creatures. There's the unblockable Mistcloaked Herald, or the beefy flyer of Spirewinder. I'll go for the Spirewinder here. Could also take the Traveler's Amulet to help splash around if we need to. Pick 7. You know, I could just be blue-black stuff, like blue-black control with some great ascend threats like Spirewinders and Dusk Chargers. This would be kind of a defining pick for that. Spirewinder would be heading into just playing a bunch of beef, whereas a second Forerunner locks us into trying to be as piratey as possible. The pirate synergy stuff has been less impressive to me than like vampires and merfolk and stuff, so I don't know. I can probably find more Spirewinders late, though, so I'm still going to take the Forerunner. I don't want to be, like, fully committed here to definitely playing a bunch of pirates. But I think this is a more powerful option to have. And again, we can probably find another Spirewinder or Dusk Charger. We don't need a million 4-drops. Now that's an easy expel for Mirazka. Here's a Soul of the Rapids for an untargetable finisher. Or we can take another Dusk Charger. I think, well, we've got 3 really good 4-drops already. I guess we take the 5-drop here. Put all our removal in a stack. This is our mana curve of creatures. Now we've got a 5-mana creature here. Pick 10 Jungleborn Pioneer. Okay, am I blue-green merfolk secretly this whole time? I don't want to be, but maybe I am. Maybe we're splashing around. Foul Orchard, blue-green, splash black now? Splash black for Moment of Craving? I don't know. That's a sign, though. Pick 10 premium merfolk like that. Okay, pack 2, pick number 1. Rested Herd Collar is a great green value play. Golden Demise has actually been pretty impressive, because a lot of the best decks in the format are, again, like those Merfolk and Vampire aggro decks that have a ton of small creatures that can die to this. And this looks really impressive if we just go blue-black control, blue-black value, where we start our curve at 4 mana with a bunch of 2/3s and 3/3s and stuff. So I actually like the idea of Golden Demise quite a bit here. We could also take Moment of Craving, which is also great. Or we could push into green now with Crested Herd Collar and just take a bunch of 2-for-1s. Jungleborn Pioneer and Herd Collar type stuff, just go green-black value. But I'm going to grab this Golden Demise. I've been pretty impressed by this card from a lot of opponents that have cast it. Champion of Dusk. By itself, this is a 5-mana 4/4 that draws a card when it hits the board, which is a good value play. It's also Forerunner the Heralds towards green-blue Merfolk. Obviously, the Champion of Dusk gets better the more vampires you have, but even in just like a blue-black control deck, I think the Champion would be good. Obviously, the Forerunner is a reason to try to pivot towards Merfolk. Take Moment and just make sure we have tons of removal. I'm going to take the 2-for-1. Let's take the Champion of Dusk here. Pick 3. Got a nice evasive pirate for early in the game, just chipping in for a ton of damage. We've got a 3rd Forerunner of the Coalition. We haven't been seeing super premium pirates to try to find. Yeah, it's Kitesail Corsair, or it's like Luminous Bonds if I want to try to be white-black vampires. Off of this Champion of Dusk, start heading in that direction. We've got no other white spells yet, so probably would rather just take Corsair, but it's an option. A speculative option, but an option nonetheless. I do like Crashing Tide, even if I'm not a Merfolk deck. I think just 3-mana sorcery, bounce a creature, draw a card's a good deal in this set. If you are in a Merfolk deck, this card's completely busted. You can cast this at instant speed, ruin your opponent's combat tricks or double blocks or anything like that. Their auras. Crashing Tide is just awesome. In a format where like the auras are actually pretty good. And the creatures are just good targets for bounce spells. Okay, pack 2, pick 5. Dusk Legion Zealot is a great value play that gives us another vampire for the Champion of Dusk to maybe draw us an additional card as well. So I like that here. I also like Sailor of Means, potentially. It ups the pirate count and gives us a little bit of splashing, maybe, but let's go Dusk Legion Zealot. Another Kitesail Corsair for an evasive early threat to get a ton of damage in. Pick number 7. I don't like any of this. This seems too narrow. Just picking up 1 card. Basically, it would be, if I need to pick up a removal spell with it, it would have been better to just play another removal spell. But it does kind of give me like another Golden Demise in the right position. Right, another Crashing Tide is awesome. This is weird. This is a weird deck. Blue-black control-y stuff. I'm gonna rare draft this. because I don't think Sea Legs is going to be playable. I don't think any of these are good. I'll take a Riverwise Augur, I guess. Gives us some card selection. Maybe a Vampire Revenant to up the Vampire count. I've already got double soul. I'm not going to run a third. Blue, black, control stuff. Not really creature type oriented. I've got 2 Forerunners of the Coalition if we found a bunch of really good pirates, but I don't think there are a bunch of great pirates. I feel like pirates might have been the archetype that took the biggest hit from not getting a pack of original Ixalan, because I remember there being some really good ones in original Ixalan. There's like the 4-mana pirate that gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control, and it can produce treasure tokens. It's like some stuff like that. There's the 4-mana pirate that's a 4/3, and it draws and discards a card every turn where you tact. Yeah, there's some really good uncommon pirates in Ixalan, but in Rivals of Ixalan, I just don't know what we're doing higher on the curve. It's just like all the 2-mana pirates are good. The 2-mana 2/1 flyers, the 2-mana 2/1 menace cards, but yeah, you actually lose a good chunk of pirates. Maybe you should just not try to draft pirates in this set at all when it's triple Rivals. Interesting. Alright, best card for our weird blue-black control deck is going to be Secrets of the Golden City for a draw 3. Mausoleum Harpy could be okay as well. Just a big flyer to finish things, but let's get that huge card advantage there. Oh, that's true. Deadeye Rig Hauler exists at least for the Forerunners, so you can always Forerunner into a Rig Hauler, which is cute. Here, I think I'd rather take another Zealot for now. Now we've got another Spire Winder for a big finisher, or an Evolving Wilds for splashing around. I like the Spire Winder a lot here. It's another creature that survives Golden Demise, even if I haven't ascended. If I have ascended to 10 permanents, then I'm not giving any of my creatures -2/-2 anyway. But I like being able to cast this really early if we need to. Okay, these are like our potential cuts right now. Another Kitesail Corsair. Could also just take another Dust Charger and go full-on beef, full-on block mode. I think this is going to get cut. Got plenty of little interaction. Maybe we just play all this interaction, play the Zealots and stuff in the early game, and we just try to get to the beef, the Dust Chargers. Later, another Secrets of the Golden City. Let's go. Alright. If nothing else, this is going to be a unique deck. No creature type focused stuff, really. I mean, there's Champion with 2 Zealots, but I don't think that really counts. It's just going to be blue and black control spells. Trying to outvalue our opponent in a long game with a bunch of card draw. 22 cards. This could be an 18 lander even. Going that controlling. We've got a Treasure Provider and multiple pieces of incidental card draw that can draw into another land. Double Crashing Tide, double Zealot. Probably I'm still going 17 lands on it. This is the closest we've gotten to an 18 land deck in this format. Would like to find one more like really good playable. Riverwise Augur is just okay. Like, it's cool if you have multiple Terramorphic Expanses. If you don't, though, it's not great. I guess that is my last somewhat playable card, though, so we'll put it in. Unless we try to main deck Negate. I don't think that's where it's at. Okay, get another Dust Charger. I'll play another Dust Charger over a Deadeye Rig Hauler. Or another Corsair. I mean, it's an evasive threat if we just keep poking them with that and stopping everything else they do. That's a way to win a game. It's like a tempo control kind of thing instead of full-on control for beef, but I think it's still interesting enough. Okay, yeah, if I just get an endless supply of Kitesail Corsairs, then that is also a game plan. Resolve a Corsair and then bounce and remove everything they do. Shipping in for 2 a turn. Sure. Any game that we start with Kitesail Corsair, we won't want to Golden Demise until we've ascended. But any game that we don't start with Kitesail Corsair, we don't really have anything else that's weak to the Golden Demise, so pretty interesting. We might drop these Soul of the Rapids, just as pretty slow cards. Keep a really high non-creature count in this deck, because we have no auras to throw onto them or anything. So they're just going to end up trading into smaller flyers from our opponent in the wrong matchups. They trade into like our opponent's 3-mana flyers. Yeah, I'll just drop the double Soul of the Rapids, and this kind of blue-black control pile is where we're going to be. I will call it a deck here. All right, here we have a look at our final deck list for today, and we're on a blue-black control kind of deck. One of our ways to win is to play a bunch of evasive threats like all these Kitesail Corsairs, and then try to just control everything else our opponent plays, killing them with Impales and Water Knots and Moment of Cravings, bouncing them with Crashing Tides, Expel from Orazkas, and Deadeye Rig Haulers. But if we don't draw the Corsairs early, then we just let our opponent dump a bunch of stuff on the board, play all of our removal and bounce spells to slow them down, maybe get a Golden Demise to wipe the whole board, and then just try to out-beef them in the endgame with these 4-mana 5/5s, 4-mana 3/4 flyers, and out-card advantage them with 2-for-1 card draw spells like Dusk Legion Zealot and Champion of Dusk, as well as really big card draw from Secrets of the Golden City, being a draw 3 late in the game. So some nice blue-black control stuff going on here. Should be interesting to see how it all plays out, but we'll find out soon enough as we head into the gameplay. Here we are on the play for game 1. It's pretty much like where we want to be. Any land gets us to Impale, an island gets us to Water Knot and Impale, and we start things off with Corsair to just chip in for a bunch of damage throughout this game, while we try to control whatever else they play. We are against blue-green. The Merfolk decks can be a little hard to control with 1-for-1 removal, because they have a lot of cards that can spit out 1/1 Merfolk tokens. More mana efficient to bounce the Stalker, but they also have +1/+1 counter production. So being able to bounce some Merfolks after they put counters on them can make the Crashing Tide more valuable later. Now the Gilt Grove Stalker, we cannot block it at all here, because it can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. But I still think it's better to save the Crashing Tide for later. Alright, it's just a stack of Gilt Grove Stalkers here. Alright, there's a Curious Obsession. That is absolutely getting bounced now, because then we get to kill the Curious Obsession and the Stalker. Yeah, I'd rather bounce it than fully Impale right now. I guess I'm not ascended to the City's Blessing yet. Dang it. No, I need another blue source. I was going to say I'm not ascended yet, but I could Expel plus Corsair. Can't do that. I don't have the second blue source, so I can only cast one spell this turn no matter what. So let's just Crashing Tide the Stalker, draw a card, see if we hit that next blue source. Okay, we are really choked on blue mana right now. That is not ideal. Drawing even more blue spells, but no blue sources. We are in a 9-8 split in blue's favor. So if we hit any more lands, they should, on average, be more islands. Drop a Sailor for a blocker and play Corsair in the same turn. Speed up our clock. What do they have? The +1/+1 draw card trick? That's fine. No. They just wanted a raid trigger for the 3/2? Yep. Bounce a Corsair it is. This is really unfortunate. I think we would be pretty far ahead if we just had 2 islands instead of 3 swamps. So we could have double spelled the turn before the Sailor Means turn really easily. We could double spell here. That might just straight cost us the game. Play the biggest spell we can. Yeah, this is so much Rougher than it would be if we were casting a couple 2-drops instead right now. You might be too late, my friend, but we'll see. Now I can Corsair plus Expel. And that is 10 permanents for the Spirewinder. 5 damage this turn and 7 next turn if they don't kill any of my creatures. That's a 2-turn clock if they don't have any removal, and we use the Expel to try to stay alive against anything they try to do. Oh, I should have, I maybe should have Expelled before we passed the turn to put one of their creatures back on top of their deck, so we know exactly what they're going to top deck. But they had 2 cards in their hand, I think, so they could also just have the removal and handle ready. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't survive without chumping with Corsair or casting Expel. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, let's Expel here and see if they have interaction. No, they have instant speed removal. They do not. All right, really close game. Don't know if I played it out right. We maybe should have Expelled in our turn before we passed, so we knew what they were going to top deck, but that would play worse if they had like a combat trick in their hand, and they had a 2-card hand there, so I think having instant speed Expel up after we see exactly how they're attacking is also reasonable. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Really happy to have found that blue source in the end. If we were stuck on one blue source the entire game, we were still so dead. But that blue source waited, I think, about as long as it could while still winning us the game. I think if it showed up 1 turn later, we would have lost. And obviously if it showed up any sooner, then the game would have been much easier. So the fashionable timing from the second blue source to make that game as tight as possible. We are 1-0 now, heading into game 2. Here we are for game 2, slow hand for our slow deck. Cheap removal, a bounce spell, and then we start things off with a Spirewinder on our board turn 4. I will keep it. Our opponent starts with Traveler's Amulet to fix their mana. And they are on blue-black as well. Might be on blue-black-red, all the pirate colors? No, just blue-black, just grabbing a second black source here. We have drawn a Sailor of Means, so if they don't play anything here, then we do get to drop something on our board a little earlier. Voracious Vampire, they have played something, I'm just going to kill it. And then I can still play Sailor during my turn. Kite Sail Corsair. That's a little bit more likely to matter. So we actually get attacking in with that thing. It is less mana efficient, which makes me cringe on the inside. But I think it is the better play here. So we actually get attacks in for 2 a turn, starting now, and follow it up with another flyer. Put a clock on our opponent. Hitting for 4 damage a turn, they are on a 5-turn clock. Maybe slightly faster than that, because if we ascend, the Spirewinder is going to be more damage. So I could have blocked there, but I think it was pretty obvious they had some kind of trick they were going to try to use. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 6 permanents. If Zealot hits a land, I can play Zealot and Sailor. But I could also Sailor and Zealot by using the treasure, but I kind of want to keep the treasure towards Spirewinder. If I hit any land, I can also play Tide plus Zealot. Let's just play the Tide first, I guess. Slow down the border. I think that's the more important spell to make sure it resolves. And if both resolve, it's going to be awesome for us. Because now I've got a 1/1 to block the 2/1, so we get them to use whatever weird combat trick they were going to do on the Zealot instead of the Spirewinder. Alright, show me the weird combat trick. Nothing. Oh, that turn they just needed raid. Sure. That was a great trade for us. A 1/1 that already drew us a card for their 2/1. Okay, we are still jamming in for damage. I can double spell Sailor Means plus Spirewinder if I lose the treasure. It's the only way that I get the Spirewinder down and do anything else this turn. I think that's worth it at this point. Because I still am pretty guaranteed to have the City's Blessing next turn if I do it this way. Because I've got 9 permanents on board even without the treasure. This way I get to block the 3/2. They just raid out another Rig Hauler and slow down the Spirewinder again. No, there's the combat trick. It was a Dire Fleet Poisoner. Alright, goodbye, Sailor. That is fine. I'm still hitting them for 4 Turn in the Sky currently. Not against Moment of Craving, and now we're very far. The City's Blessing double removal spell, basically. So, what now? Just drop a 4/4 that draws me a card. Yeah, I'm not going to Crashing Tide either of these creatures, which means that I'm only casting 1 spell this turn. So let's cast the Champion. And that holds off the Hauler. I do have quadruple blue now, which is pretty nice. I can cast Waterknot and Secrets of the Golden City in the same turn. Waterknot would be my 10th permanent if they don't kill anything. Well, there you go. Bounce the Champion over the Spirewinder? Unexpected, but I'll take it. I have 9 permanents. I play 1 card and Spirewinder's active, so I can just recast the Champion and Spirewinder's a go. Dusk Legion Zealots, if I want to impact the board this turn. I could also just draw 3. I probably should get more blockers, just in case. My opponent's still on 4 lands here. It's all spells still. All gas, no breaks. Yeah, somebody cut their break lines. That's illegal. So we take 5 here. Unless I chump 3 damage. Let's take the 5. Recover. Okay, recover and just keep doing Deadeye Rig Hauler things. They still didn't hit the 5th land? They just drew another card off recover? Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they do need some more mana so they can actually dump their stuff out fast enough to not die. And I guess they feel the same way, because that just not hit the 5th land, immediately move to my turn. They scoop it up real quick there. 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. I've got 8 damage on the crackback on board. Yeah, so we'd probably just hit them with everybody. Waterknot the Poisoner and bounce the Rig Hauler, because then they can't even attack us next turn to trigger the Rig Hauler anyway. So that way we hit them for almost lethal, and we make sure we don't take any damage on the crackback. Alright, rough game for our opponent. Rough game. I was a little scared at their lack of lands, just meaning that they had all that action, but if you don't get enough lands, you cannot cast the spells fast enough to outrace your opponent and not die, which is almost what happened to us in game 1, so we were on the other side of that. We just couldn't find the second blue source and almost died. That game, our opponent actually genuinely just couldn't find the land and did die. So 2-0 it is as we head into game number 3. Alright, here we are on the play for game number 3. I don't love Corsair plus Golden Demise being in the same hand. But we can wait till we ascend to try to use that. Yeah, we've got a lot of reasons to want to ascend in this deck, so Sailor of Means just to leave a treasure around seems like a thing our deck might want to do. Although I want to get damage in too. So another Corsair is nice. I'm still going to play Sailor of Means, I think, first. I've got a lot of things that want 10 permanents right now. Alright, Sailor of Means versus Sailor of Means. Who would win? I think it's Sailor of Means. Be mana efficient, drop a Dusk Charger. That gets us pretty close to ascending. We're 2 permanents away, and once we do, that's a 5/5 attacker that can definitely send into their Sailor. Hopefully, they're just playing their own game plan, and we're just both playing Solitaire for a little bit. We just really don't want them to lower our permanent count. Oh, and that's the best way almost ever printed to lower our permanent count. Cube All-Star Ravenous Chupacabra coming in hot. Moment of craving, but I'm gonna Golden Demise everything I can soon enough. 7 permanents here, dang it. I might have to Secrets for just 2 cards here. I couldn't Golden Demise without City's Blessing. But I have to crack the treasure to do that, and I'm only killing 1 card right now anyway. I think I'm going to Secrets of the Golden City here. Okay, do find another land. This is my 9th permanent. Attack with Corsair, drop Rig Hauler, and we're ascended. I also kind of don't want to kill the Chupacabra, because if they have Recover, return a creature from grave to hand, draw a card, then that Chupacabra is going to go all the way to town. The Magic Arena matchmaking being super suspicious again, by the way. That's 2 blue-black opponents in a row. This is not a super popular archetype in this set. What's going on? What's this about? Well, I could pre-combat the Rig Hard and just start attacking with a 5/5. Yeah, I don't really want to bounce either of these. They both have decent enter the battlefield effects. Sure, might as well, I guess. Let's ascend. We really don't want to bounce Chupacabra. God, why? They have Recover, so, I mean, we can't really play around that. We don't have enough flyers to just not attack for like 10 turns in a row, just because they can chump with Chupacabra, but that is really obnoxious. That they do have the Recover Chupacabra combo. Oh my god, okay. Okay, we super lose. Profane Procession is a 6-for-1. It's 3 exile removal spells on a stick, and then you just get to play everything you exiled on your own board. So RIP, we just go full aggro and die anyway. I think I'm going to Golden Demise here, because Moment of Craving is instant speed. And I don't think they're going to end up with more than 1 creature on board for a while here, because they're just going to use Procession and Chupacabra for a little while. Yep, that's disgusting. If I don't trade Moment into it, I'm trading a Rig Hauler into it. If they've got another Recover, it honestly doesn't even matter. They already have 3 more removal spells. They already have infinite removal, so... Send this in. Dusk Charger's a good draw. There's their own Golden Demise as a 1-for-1. Well, that's game. Because they have 2 more 5-mana removal spells we cannot outrace at all now. Because I've got a 1/4 down. Anything I play, they just exile. Yeah, I'm out of here. There's no breaking through this. That was gross. Chupacabra plus Recover plus Profane Procession. Really nothing you can do but outrace it, and we are not the most aggressive deck in the universe, so that's going to be a guaranteed loss on that one. 2-1 heading into game number 4. All right, here we are on the play for game number 4. I just said it and I immediately forgot what game we're on. This looks super fine. Don't be another blue-black mirror match. Give us some variety today. Please and thank you. All right, blue-green merfolk. Not a bunch of variety. That's 2 rounds against merfolk and 2 rounds against blue-black now. But what are you going to do? Well, we need to kill that, and we can't, so that's not good. Can bounce whatever they put the counters on, I guess. Could hold up the Expel to do it at instant speed. But I'm going to get some damage ticking in here with the Corsair. Ooh, the 2-for-1 merfolk with the Deep-Root Elite. So they get 2 triggers immediately. Gross. One of those also has hexproof. So now they're just going to put all the counters on the hexproofer and I can't kill Deep-Root Elite. Well, this might be a pretty quick loss. Rivals of Ixalan is a pretty balmy set. And we've had a lot of games in our previous drafts that haven't been the most balmy things in the world, so makes sense for it to catch up to us today with Profane Procession into turn 2 Deep-Root Elite. I don't even like bouncing the Jungleborn Pioneer too much, so I'll just make them recast the Elite, I guess. They've hit their 4th lands. They can drop Elite and another 2-drop Merfolk. But Siren Reaver is the play. Cool with Corsair and a Reaver. And then we just go with Spirewinder here. Could have done this pre-combat, but that'd be 9 permanents. That's still not the City's Blessing anyway. Okay, there is the 10th permanent. That's the only way we ascend is by playing this over anything else in the hand, so we do that. Oh wait, no, it's still 9 permanents. I'm bad at math. It's because we traded in that Corsair last turn. We would have been at 9 permanents until the Corsair died. Ew, another double Merfolk card with the Deep-Root Elite, and they're both hexproof too. Well, we've got 4 damage a turn in the sky. If I find another permanent, we have 5 in the sky. I'm going to not block so we keep our permanent count up. So we have that chance of ascending this turn. There we go. We ascend and hope for an island. Okay, well, we didn't find an island, but we ascended. Now we're hitting for 5 a turn. It's a 3-turn clock, and I've got ways to deal with their flyers if they try to establish blockers against us. They could put all of their mana into making their 4/4 unblockable 3 turns in a row to try to kill us. But we outrace that a little bit, because we only need 2 more swings, and we swing 2 more times before they swing 3 more. Alright, Jadecraft Artisan. Now that we have the City's Blessing, we can lose as many permanents as we want. This Expel from Erazka to make them redraw that Hardy Veteran could be really good for us. Okay, let's kill 4/4 and chump 4 damage, I think. I guess I can kill the 4/4 while only losing 1 creature by doing this. Yeah. And we definitely want to expel before their draw step so that they're less likely to draw into... Well, so that they just can't draw into some way to kill a flyer. Crashing Tide. I guess I just Water Knot instead here. A little safer. Because then if they do try to play a flyer to not die, if there is a flyer in those two cards, we can still Crashing Tide it next turn. So we'll see if they had removal in hand. They couldn't top deck removal because they top decked the Hardy Veteran. Thanks to the Expel. Send in a Jadecraft Artisan, sure. Trigger the raid for bouncing one of our flyers here? Is that what it is? Think we can still outrace that? If it is the 3/2 pirate that bounces something? Well, that's concerning. Show me the money. Instant speed Crashing Tide. Because they've got Merfolk on board. That's pretty good. Is it double? Was it worse? Oh, never mind. Nope, it's just double. Okay, I'm at 8 life. I don't die on the crackback, and now we're presenting lethal again. There's Secrets of the Golden City to dig. They've got a blue and 3. There's a Spirewinder, but we have a Crashing Tide. Close game of Magic there. But we do outrace the Deep Root Elite shenanigans, and we are now like 3-1. Here we are now for game number 5. We are on the draw. We got that turn 2 Corsair. We have the double blue for our double blue spells, and we've got a Dusk Charger for some beef at the top of the curve. Ooh, now I can play Corsair turn 2 and a Corsair turn 3. All flyers all day. We're against black-green, which is a really good value kind of deck. Tends to be a deck full of the Ravenous Chupacabra and Crested Sunhorn kind of 2-for-1s. Jungle Creeper's another one that can trade off infinitely as long as they've got the mana to keep putting it back in their hand. I'm tempted to Water Knot that. There's not a lot of sacrifice effects in this format, so if it gets Water Knotted, it just doesn't trade anywhere. Doesn't get the graveyard recursion value ever, so I'm just going to do that. I will Water Knot it there. Dusk Legion Zealots. Here's our Dusk Charger. That's our 6th permanent. Dinosaur Hunter. Well, this is a horse. And Hardy Veteran, those do not matter much unless they kill my Dusk Charger. Okay, 7th permanent. 8th permanent. And I think hold up Moment of Craving here. We're just trying to ascend over anything, really. Cool. Yeah, cast 1 Unascended Secrets is probably okay. Also Crashing Tide and draw 1. Full greed on the double secrets. Now I'm gonna do 1. 1 Unascended Secrets. 6, 7, 8, 9. If I cast the Zealot, I have Ascended. But then I don't have Moment up. And I don't really want to go for any attacks this turn anyway, on the ground. So I'm just going to hold Moment up again. Should still be pretty easy to ascend next turn. Okay, there's their own Moment. Yeah. What am I even holding Moment up for, though? Like, I'm holding it up against green removal. They've got a lot of black sources, though, so if they just impale, then Moment's not going to do anything. I guess, like, I can hold it up to stop a Hunt the Week. Maybe I should have just played Zealot immediately. But especially if they kill Corsair, I'm just going to play Zealot. Okay, yeah, Moment of Craving wasn't going to do anything that turn. Boom! Ascended. Here's a 5/5. Nice 4/4 Armasaur. I've got a 5/5. Let's draw 3 first, see if it's any better. Probably not. I can't Crashing Tide at instant speed. I guess I can Moment of Craving their double blocks. Yeah, no, let's just play the other Dust Charger. And then we'll attack in with 2 Dust Chargers while holding up a Moment of Craving. And we should be able to find... Never mind. Let's say we should be able to find a pretty good position for us there. Now I need to just Crashing Tide the Dreadmaw instead for now. Have them recast that next turn, start chipping it in the sky. Champion of Dusk, that's a draw too. The value town we are going to right now is wild. Okay, I mean, I can still find a really profitable Moment of Craving if they block wrong here, so I'm just going crazy. Whatever, we're jamming out. Having a party. I was gonna say, they need to double block here. If they single block, then this Moment of Craving is gonna be incredibly profitable. Okay, cool. So we Moment of Craving to kill that. And here we just kill the 4/4. And then we bounce the sapling they made, probably. And then keep winning in the sky. Because their board is almost all gone now. It's just 2/2s. 2/2s and 1/1s. Yeah, you know what? Their board's weak enough. We don't need to bounce anything. Let's just get the draw 2 here from the Champion of Dusk. See where that takes us. To an Expel from Araska. Not a bad one. Instant speed interaction. Could just make them redraw Veteran. But I like having it up at instant speed. Okay, we'll make them redraw an Armasaur. And that means we'll have decent attacks with our 4/4 on the ground alongside everything else. Otherwise, they just block there, and then we don't get any value really from the instant speed bounce. I don't know, maybe we still should have done it at instant speed, because they could have blocked incorrectly on the champion and given us a really good instant speed trick there, but yeah, if they just stacked everything, including the Armasaur, then better to just get that mana investment out of the way, I think. Alright, cool. I think I'd rather draw another card than kill a 1/1 right now, actually, now that I think of it. You know what I should have done? I should have just not attacked with the Vampire, and I could have drawn 2 there by just attacking in the sky. I always forget about the versatility of bouncing your own stuff. Until I have that trigger on the stack and I see that I can target my own cards, then I'm like, oh. More Dreadmaws, uh-oh. That can outrace us if we just keep hitting lands. Oh, why did I forget Corsair? Why did I forget Corsair? I don't know why I forgot Corsair, but I don't know if it'll matter either. They'd be at 9 life right now. I don't think it matters. I think they outrace us, even if I did. Oh, well, it's gonna matter. We turned it into a 3-turn clock because I just forgot to attack with Corsair. Yeah, I would have killed them off 1 more attack. Since I hit the Impale, it's gonna matter because we're not done on board here, but they can definitely kill us in 2 attacks. I'm gonna lose because I just forgot to attack with Kitesail Corsair. Oof. Oh no, they drew recover? How bad is that for me? Kinda bad? I mean, I already need to just survive them attacking twice. So the Dreadmaw doesn't... Oh! No attacks? One-sided board wipe off the top? Well, since I top decked the one-sided board wipe, Arena has my back today. Good lord. Even if they did attack me with everybody and put me down to like 3 or 4 or whatever, top deck Golden Demise gets us there. That was so loose. I literally just forgot to click on Corsair. I think I thought it was still summoning sick for some reason. But it was highlighted. It was ready to attack. Alright, sketchy end to that game, but some incredible luck. Arena's really on our side with this one. And we are 4-1, at least breaking even out of the event no matter what, with a positive win rate as well. Super awesome place to be as we head into round number 6. Alright, mono blue tempo, let's go. Mono blue flyers, Corsair into Spirewinder here. Probably do have to jam out the secrets turn 3 as a draw too if I don't find anything else to cast. Just make sure we're doing stuff with our mana throughout this game. Getting as much action as we can going. Dig towards the swamp, especially if we draw a double black spell. We really need to dig towards the swamps. Alright, draw 2. There's a swamp and another double black spell, which is sketchy. Down to 19. And our opponent doesn't have a 3-drop. Let's go. Oh, it's just removal for Corsair. Never mind. It's just instant speed removal. Moment of Craving, I guess. And cast it in the end step here. They're just waiting to see if I cast a better creature that dies to Moment of Craving, but I did not know. Okay, so they have an instant that they didn't want to cast there, so maybe a combat trick or something. I am really not going to miss Ravenous Chupacabra. I'm really not going to miss it. I'm so happy this is the last day of Rivals of Ixalan drafts, because I'm so tired of Ravenous Chupacabra. There's something just so visceral about it when that thing hits the board that makes me so instantly frustrated. Like, great. It's probably just the fact that it's in like every cube ever, so I'm just so used to it being just annoying removal. That is the +2/+2 trick, or it's recover, neither of which I want to run into. Alright, Zealot, find me another swamp. I won't be able to cast my black spells right now, but I will in the future. Okay, that is like my 8th island or something. Not a swamp. 7th island. Pretty sure we're on a 9-8 split. I might be wrong about that. Yeah, we're on a 9-8 split. There's still 7 swamps in here. 2 islands left. Okay. +2/+2 gain 2. That trick is so good. I can't block anywhere profitable against that. And it gains them the life to get a cushion here. I need to not block at all here so I can ascend. Oh my god. We have 1 island left in the deck and 6 swamps now. Ascended now so I can block the Chupacabra without dying to the +2/+2 trick. But they're going to ascend as well, and their Dust Charger is going to be a 5/5. I really needed that to be a swamp to kill that Dust Charger. Sanguine Glorifier, they ascend. Their flyer's a 3/4 also. And that's gross. Still got a 1 white mana instant up. I mean, I guess that works. But it is too late. We are far behind on board, even through an Impale. Guess I have to kill the flyer. At least I chump block on the ground. Nothing else. Corsair doesn't even block well, let's poke them. That is unraceable. Alright, well, it's basically time to concede anyway, so I'm just gonna have them show me the +2/+2 trick for fun. So +2/+2 a Glorifier and kill me, or a Zealot or a Chupacabra. They would rather play with their food, how nice. Lethal is for cowards, they say. And we don't find Swamp 2. Super duper over. To be fair, their deck was very, very nice, and they still had a lot of action there. It was all non-lands still at that point, so even if we had the Swamp on curve, we would have died much slower, but we probably still would have just got outmatched there. We are 4-2 heading into Game 7. Here we are on the play for game number 7. We need 1 Swamp real badly. Well, we saw how that ended for us last game, though. Let's not take chances here. Let's mold to a 2-color hand, hopefully. That is a 2-color hand. And a Dusk Legion Zealot to make up for the card disadvantage, and everything's castable off just 2 lands. So we'll drop down to 2 lands. Playing against another green-blue Merfolk deck. Turn 1 Jade Bearer, just a 1/1. As soon as I drop a 1/4 Sailor means that cannot attack in. Or a Dusk Legion Zealot trades into it fine, since it's drawn us a card, gotten us some value just by hitting the board. Alright, we do find a land here. Sailor of means to stop taking damage from the 1/1, or do I keep... I'm going to keep presenting threats of my own, get this Corsair down. If we hit another land, I can play Sailor plus Zealot, so I can still double spell next turn thanks to the treasure token from Sailor. If I played Sailor now, then double spelling next turn off of a land would be Zealot plus Corsair, which is also solid. Alright, it's definitely a race. And we do hit a land, so we go Sailor plus Zealot, and we've got solid blockers up now. Racing each other. One permanent away from the city's blessings, so hopefully draw 2 or 3 mana permanent. Like Dusk Legion Zealot would be like the best draw in our deck, because we could cast that and hold up Expel in the same turn. But I only have 1 blue source, so if we draw a blue permanent, that's not going to work out. I imagine they're just putting a counter on the Guildgrove Stalker, but against blue-black, they might want to just put it on the Hexproofer, and that is what they're going to do. Play around removal spells. They're going to bounce our Sailor of Means. Okay. Well, that gives me the permanent to have the City's Blessing, I guess. But that is a lot of damage also. We're down to 9 here. Ah, we hit the Zealot, so we would have had City's Blessing if they didn't bounce the Sailor. I can still replay Sailor plus Zealot to have the City's Blessing. I don't need it for Expel. Could just play the Zealot and hold it up. Double Sailor. I think I'm just going to cast a Sailor here. That's 10 permanents, but nothing that gives us the City's Blessing, so After we declare some blocks here, we're going to have less than 10 permanents and won't immediately have the blessing next turn. Won't have it, like, guaranteed. Eight life to 10 life. This is a close race. Another Jade Bearer. Makes the other one a 2/2. Yeah, that's really bad. Green and blue don't actually have a ton of combat tricks in this set. The one I can think of is +1/+1 draw a card. So I'm kind of tempted to actually kill a creature here by doing this. Taking 6 or 7, going to 1 or 2. And I have to be able to block literally everybody next turn, but I think I have to start clearing out the board. No Jungleborn Pioneer, no Jungleborn Pioneer. Please, no Jungleborn Pioneer. It's still a creature, which is not good. 5, 6, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 permanents. Okay, I do have Ascended Expel from Arazka. I have to block all of their creatures to not die. I can let one power creature through. So I can attack with 1 Corsair, and then I can go block, 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 bounce the Stalker. And we want to do this at instant speed so that they do declare an attack with the 1/1 so I can kill it for free off a Sailor. And just let the Sworn Guardian in. They have to have straight nothing here, but I can't afford to just stop attacking. Because then I have no game plan but to start slowly losing my board. I'm dying. You know, they might have the +1/+1 trick here. That'd be a funny way to end it. Is that they did have the +1/+1 spell. Okay. It's a really good block for us. No! They didn't have the Jungleborn Pioneer last turn, but they sure drew it this turn. So Rig Hauler. That means I can have 3 blockers up against 3 creatures, even sending in the Corsair. Good draw. Kind of have to bounce the Guardian, though. So we don't want to give them more creatures. I don't think we have anything that we can draw to win from here, but we are just trying as hard as we can. I think we're getting as far as we possibly could with these lines. That does not do it. Yeah, because if I attack at all, I die. So I have to play this and pass. So I need 5 creatures to block there, 5 creatures. The Deadeye Rig Hauler is our only creature that can block the Guilt Grove Stalker, so that block is forced. Oh, Lord. 4 under the Heralds, put the best Merfolk in their deck on top, which is probably just the 1/1 unblockable when your opponent's at 1 life. Just put the 1/1 unblockable card on top. Oh, we could draw Golden Demise. If we're the luckiest player on Arena right now, that is our one big out. Top deck Golden Demise, wipe their whole board, and insta-lethal them. They keep the Sworn Guardian that can block our 3/2, but we hit for 6 with everybody else. Okay, unless they do this, then Golden Demise doesn't insta-kill them anymore, because we have to lose the Deadeye Rig Hauler. Golden Demise would still be very good. Still be game winning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't attack. Merfolk Mistbinder was their choice here, which is still enough to just kill us, because now we're basically just jumping everywhere. If they don't make any attacks here, Golden Demise would still save us. It'd kill the Mistbinder and the Pioneers and the Hexproofer. Which gives us the time to attack with the Corsairs and make some chumps, and then attack with the Corsairs again and win. If they just wait a turn and we miss on our draw step, they just kill us with an all-attack next turn. I feel like an attack with all this turn is still pretty good for them, but I don't know for sure. I'm not in the position where I have to choose. They are going to go ahead and pass, and that's enough. We miss, and that's 6 creatures versus 5 blockers. That's game. Sad. We had outs here. Outs, plural, might be a lie. We had 1 out. That would have won us the game. Golden Demise would have won. So, surprisingly, still kind of in it for a chance at victory, even if it was a very small chance at victory. Actually, Moment of Craving also. Moment of Craving or Golden Demise would have been huge outs. I guess I technically shouldn't have played that, because then they wouldn't have known what's in our hand, and they might have played it safe here, but it's whatever. 4 and 3 it is. In the end. Sad ending. I think this deck was on a roll early. We had a lot of real lucky games. We also had some kind of unlucky games, some rough mana trying to hit just 2 colors. Because we have double blue spells and double black spells, so sometimes just having 1 blue source or 1 black source was really detrimental at times. So some rough mana there, showing up pretty often. Overall, though, I think the deck overperformed. It did better than I thought it would, just some blue-black control-y kind of pile. And with how well it did in those early games, when the deck is functioning and we're hitting all the mana and stuff, I think it's actually a pretty sweet deck. So once we got on a roll there, I was pretty sad to only go 4-3 with it. Like, now that I have experience with this deck, I think it's actually pretty good and could get a pretty high win rate run. But it ends just a bit above average. Still not bad at all. Not bad at all. Still breaking even, getting all our money back out of the event. But would have liked to take it farther because I had a good amount of fun with this deck. I think it was a cool, unique archetype that played quite well. I think it was pretty well built. Yeah, I think it was a solid idea for a deck. Just didn't quite pan out to a full 7-win run or anything for us. Just a nice above average 4-3 run today. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video and are interested in seeing more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to catch me live, you can check out the Twitch channel in the link in the description below. And if you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. But other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.